Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Saturday Soul Sessions. I'm Maggie Wilcox, and I'm super excited for our interview today with Athena Sai, who's about to pop on. And, everybody keeps talking about timeline shifting. And what does that feel like, right? What does that look like? For me today, sometimes you wake up in a different reality. There's that. But I've been having a lot of old memories, things in my cells, old vacations, things I've done that just will pop into my memory. It's very odd. Hi, Athena. Let me see how I can invite you in. Guest requests. I think you might have to. Oh, there you are. I'm adding you. I love it when things. Hey, bring them on camera. Oh, there it goes. Hi.
Hello, how are you?
Well, it's been a while since we've connected like this. This is
I
really
know. I'm so excited. I'm just adjusting my camera here a little bit. I have my phone on a
Mhm.
tripod, so hello.
Hi, beautiful. So Athena and we met in Mount Shasta, talk about
Mhm.
just diving in, right? We dove into one of our deepest spiritual experiences ever.
Yes.
We spent time apart and then time together. And the time we spent together was very beautiful, especially the morning after the eclipse and just all that we were seeing for, it was a good 12, 15 hours that we were seeing a lot of things. There
Mhm.
was definitely a veil lifted, a doorway open during that time. And where I was connecting more maybe to the nature spirits and dragons, I know you were seeing other things.
Mhm.
Um, and I think we both were seeing stuff in the sky that a lot of alien or craft activity. Yeah, it was very magical, very magical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so amazing. And for me, like the clouds were speaking to me. It was just like
Mm,
it was just I couldn't, you see the clouds and you know that they're like messages, but it was like this whole like, no, this is really a message at this
mhm.
PowerPoint. Like the clouds literally do hold so many frequencies and so many messages. And it was like I was literally seeing almost like a story playing out within like what humanity was experiencing. It was
Yeah.
so powerful, and I had never experienced something like that. And just
Mm,
driving there was, I mean, I could feel it, like the wolf spirit when we got even on the road to Weed, which is where we stayed. Um, you know, Driving up there, like I had the natives to that place, and the wolf came to me, and it was just I like
mhm.
started crying. I couldn't even hold back the emotions because I felt everything there. And that's something that Mount Shasta is known for, is transmutation, transformation, right? Like it initiated both of us. For me, it
Yeah.
initiated me deeper into the underworld and like how to navigate that.
Mhm.
um but yeah, it was amazing.
It really, really was. And then, yeah, I enjoyed, taking us down into the womb of the dragon on our beautiful hike, which
Mhm.
was literally, it felt like we were in a cave of energy. There was a big vortex there as we even were able to go behind the waterfall, which was very cool. And so many nature spirits were coming up there as well.
Mhm.
And what's interesting is I know in working with star people, we also noticed that the Lemurian tribes were very prominent there, as myth suggests. And
Mhm.
that speaking to other, star tribes was actually a little difficult. Like they were just very strong
Mhm.
and protective, almost felt like, of the
Yeah.
area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also kind of got the message like as I reflected back on the way back home, and even like weeks and even months afterwards, is
Mhm.
how we have to really honor the earth and we have to honor the mountain. And it's not like something we can just go in and like magically shift everything. Like there are very protective spirits there, and to honor that. And that was a big awareness that like opened up within me. It was like, oh my goodness, yes. Like we have to really honor the land that we're on, the beings that have been there for thousands and thousands of years that were protecting it. You know, like we had a journey where we were able to go into the mountain, right? So like as an oracle, it was one of the mornings, I can't remember which one, but it was the morning me and you sat out in the open field and we were looking over at the mountain, and it was like we were just guided into the actual mountain. And you know, people have heard of Telos, right? The Lemurian city there. And it was like we were able to talk to the Lemurian guides. And I had worked with the Lemurians for about a year, just because I've been doing my own soul retrieval work and like remembering my past lives in Mu and in Lemuria. And then that with you was just like, it opened it up to a whole nother level. It's like, oh, wait, we are really walking beyond this veil, and we are, you know, being guided and being shown these other aspects of the earth and how we can commune with it in such a heartfelt way.
Yeah, and at one point, I definitely felt like that I was containing Gaia. That my true essence, my true purpose here on this planet was to hold that beautiful earth energy, to help anchor it in, anchor in all the work that you were doing in the grids as well. I mean, I was just like, I'm here for this.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
and do you want me to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, that would be cool.
So before we even went to Mount Shasta, it was kind of, everything was just lining up so well, how we all ended up getting together and doing this work. But I started to get visions. I'm an oracle and I can remote view. And so as I tuned into the mountain, I saw all these structures. They were like octagonal shapes that were around the actual mountain. And Mount Shasta is the earth chakra of the world, as well as a stargate. So it's like if you think of a church, right? The energies can go up and the energies can go down because they have created a power node, so to speak. And so same thing with Shasta, the energies come in and the energies can go out. And so I saw these octagons that were around it, and each one held like a different color and a different frequency. And so we were able to kind of tune into that. And what I was guided to do is basically send the rainbow energy through these places and help to kind of weave and just align. It was just so powerful. I mean, I think we all came out of that like, wow. You couldn't ignore how we all responded and reacted in the moment as we were doing the ceremony, but also like afterwards. It was just such a huge initiation. It literally did. It transformed everything. And I think you even had, in the actual ceremony that we did, I think you had actual, like you were transmuting. You were literally like holding it all, and you just like let it flow through you. And it was beautiful to witness that.
Yeah. Yeah, that was crazy. All the pain of our mothers and our mothers' mothers, and you know, the ancient earth mothers. Yeah. I was definitely Earth. Yeah. And then the fairies were messing with me so much. And that was fun. They were tickling and we were seeing them. And I have a gift for catching them and all the little things, you know. What I find super interesting about nature spirits is that you can get like one big energy in a tree, for instance. But then there's all these little layers of beings within it and around it. And because that veil was thin, they were all coming out to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was so
That
much
was
fun.
cool.
So what work are you doing now with the grid? I know we both did earth light healing, and I teach how to work with dragons and the portals. What work are you doing with the grids right now?
Well, I am actually leading a group of women. It's the Path of the Serpent Priestess. And so basically working with sacred sexuality, working with the womb, working with our own wounding, and being able to clear our karmic patterns and really step forward. Because if you think about the serpent, it is belly to earth. It uses all of its senses to see, to feel, right? And it guides the energy along the earth. And so this lineage of serpent priestesses is really about that. It's about guiding the energy. It's about tapping into the primordial mother dragon, right? Dragon, serpent, they kind of go hand in hand here. And so being able to guide them through owning themselves, owning who they are, speaking their truth, and then starting to really, in our next class, we'll actually start to move the energy through our bodies. And so using our bodies as a way to transmute. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because we are now where we're used to, perhaps, I know you and I have been on this journey for 20 plus years, and where we used to maybe go more and more outside of ourselves, even soul retrieval, Akashic records retrieval, all of that, we really are merging it into here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, where it's all right here. Yeah,
Yep.
reweave that DNA. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's
And that's
beautiful.
a big part. And I use both, you
Mhm.
know, I do use the Akashic records, and I use like guides and that stuff. Hello,
Mhm.
Shannon. Hi, Beth. But I also, yeah, teach about the body and how we can transmute and how we can heal, but really feel how we can feel it. We can feel it on another person, how we can tap into that clairsentience, as well as the oracles, right? Like the oracles of Delphi are very prominent in this course that I'm teaching. Talking about how they worked with the serpent energy, right? They were serpent goddesses as well. So their oracular visions, their ability to feel, like all of it's coming together, and how we can shift this earth by, like you said, coming back to the body and understanding our wisdom is within us, and how we can start to guide the energy to a new
Mhm.
height.
That's beautiful. Yeah, and we all have different gifts, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and remembering and tapping into that. And even when I teach my Reiki students, because we go through 8 weeks, they grow in their ability to be clairsentient to such a degree. And it is such a beautiful feeling when you can tap into someone else's soul and energy field and feel that oneness that you are both from the same tribe, the same light, and being able to, yeah, feel the energy. And for some, it'll come into the third eye with a sight. Some hear it. You know, we all have these different clairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really magical. And the more we heal ourselves, right? The more we're healing the planet.
Mm-hmm. And that's exactly it. Because if you come back
Mhm.
to that oneness, we ultimately are one. And I think that's a big thing that many of us are starting to feel, you know, the energies that we're feeling. I think when we just jumped on, you were talking about how, you know, there was like dissolution happening. You were having some like things coming up in your world, right? And so that's all part of this process too, is like the relationships, the people, the karmic ties, the um, baggage. It's like it's all coming up for us to look at it and to release what's no longer ours, so we can come back into that fullness as ourselves, as Earth. Like we are her body, and
Yeah.
so we can use that, like the meridians that flow through us are, you can literally attune yourself to the earth and start to use your pressure points to work on a space within the earth, or vice versa. And so by getting in ceremony, and you know, maybe you need a teacher guide for something like this, some don't though, but you can really start to attune your body to healing in a bigger way.
Yeah. Those points you talk about are dragon points in
Mm-hmm.
acupuncture. Yeah. And so our bodies do mirror the earth with these chakras, these points. And then when I teach my dragon classes, we play a lot with the elemental dragons of earth, air, fire, water, and the gold ether. And those are all the elements within us,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
cultivating that in all those beautiful ways. And I'm sure that you do that in your program too. You probably go through the elements as I do. It's, yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, and it's and something, you know, a lot of people out there in the world are like, the past is no longer, which is true. But for me, the wisdom is in the past. And so for me, it's about remembering what we did in the ancient times and bringing that forward with the new technology that's coming. And, we're merging it together. And it's just so beautiful to be able to do that. And the elements are absolutely part of that. Mary Magdalene is a serpent or a dragon priestess, if you want to call her that. Hello. And so that is all part of this too, is like understanding that we hold that and we can actually learn to use all of the elements to create huge, massive change within ourselves and how we can heal other people. Mary Magdalene was a conduit of the fire of the stars, right? It was probably it was a form of energy, right? We call a lot of it now Reiki, but it's the ability to channel and to direct the energy. And so I think that's both of us what we're doing with our work. We carry that within us, within our memories, and so we're bringing it out in our own unique way. I think it's so needed.
Yeah, definitely tapping into the knowledge of our ancient alchemy, right? Our high priestess times, and bringing that forward. And I know you and I have also talked about Atlantis quite a bit and having memories there.
And actually, you know what? I just want to bring this up if that's okay. Like I would say since like 2018, I started to get like some visions about Lemuria, and then it got really big like 2020. And then I was like, I don't think I have any lifetimes of Atlantis because I just couldn't get it. And then you did your Atlantean attunement on me. You have that Atlantean Reiki attunement, and it just blew the doors open. It was like I had this huge block there, and now I've realized several different lifetimes I've had there and what roles I played. And so it was like it's like I needed you to bring that into my field so I can actually like move past those blocks that I held.
Absolutely. Yeah, we activate one another. And the Atlantean times were one of the longest civilizations, even more than the Egyptians, even longer. Yeah, and so, back to the alchemy, so taking, let's say, anger, right, which is very fiery in nature, and alchemizing that into your own personal power, right, instead of projecting and blaming and all those things. And then when I play with the elements, I play a lot with the dragons below my feet and all the elements within the earth. And I send them ahead of my day, And then for me, that's what they're doing is they're working in the ley lines, which are like the dragon tracks. And so I don't know if that's how you see it as well.
I see. So I just see like a grid pattern. It's like I see a grid pattern a lot of times. Sometimes it's different shapes. But yeah, I've been working with the Earth Dragons the last couple of days. I keep pulling that Earth Dragon card. So I've been working with them to clear my home, clear my body, clear the lands, and anywhere that I travel, I ask them to assist. And I feel them and I see them. So I can like see them wisping around me or wisping around people. And then of course, when I go into ceremony, they come when I'm in the inner earth. Like I do all my work stems from the inner earth. So I always go down before I go up, right? Or before I go anywhere, I always go down. And so those dragons are always with me. And it's fun because sometimes I'll meet some new ones. So I've been working with Tiamat, which is an ancient serpent / dragon. It's like the dragon mother of all, right? This is Sumerian and Babylonian times with Enlil and Enki and all of them. And so reclaiming her story, how like, I don't know if you know about how she was kind of manipulated, right? There was some things that happened, and basically her womb was taken and almost, I don't like to use the word hijacked, but it was taken and it was used for more negative agendas. And so being able to reclaim that ancient lineage like changes our DNA. It literally changes who we are. And so working with her has been very powerful, and that heart womb connection too. So yeah, it's been intense over here lately, but it's all necessary for me to understand where I come from and the stories to retell them in
Yeah.
our lens, right?
Oh, yes, yes.
Yeah.
And I love the past life memories, and even the
Mhm.
memories that are coming through of my
Mhm.
trip to Hawaii and, like, oh yeah, bring it on. It feels so
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. And a
Yeah.
lot of them too, even the ones that aren't so great, there is a
Mhm.
lesson within it all. If it's coming up for a revisit, there's some little nugget to find about yourself or some aha moment that you can actually do. And you can call on the dragons or your guides to help you open up that awareness to why is this coming back into my field? Like, what is it that I need to know about this? Whether it's just that feeling of freedom or that feeling of like relaxation, or maybe it's something deeper, like, okay, there's some karmic ties or I have to take responsibility for being a shitty person that day, like whatever it is, like being honest with ourselves and just knowing that those memories are coming up to be cleared and to be made aware, right?
Mhm. Yeah, I find that most past life memories that do come into our awareness that are sitting in our energy field have some karma that needs to be worked through.
Yeah.
Otherwise, those good things usually bring on, a brighter aura, more heightened aura and energy. Um, but, back to going into inner earth, so many myths of the she, the old Celtic fairy lineage and whatnot, and the moves, right? Where because they were a little bit more avatar-like, we're in and out of 5, 4, and 3D.
Mm-hmm.
That shifted when we became more warring tribes. And so a lot of these ancient people did descend into the hills, the mountains, the fairy hills, we call it, right? The mounds. Um, and so there are, I believe, lots of dragon lineages and other tribes very deep within the earth,
Mm-hmm.
and that they're making themselves known.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of our remembering too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been reconnecting with the Nagas, which are the ancient serpents of India, and they are feminine serpent protectors. And I just realized that they're coming more and more into my field because of the necessity of humans being able to access them as protectors. They protect the portal ways. And for so long, we've been told to fear the dragon, to fear the serpent, right? To fear the feminine, the wild ways. Um, and so some of that got lost in translation, got lost in history. And so, just like the fairies too, oh, that's not real. That's make believe. You're being silly. That's just so silly. Like that's not really true. And so we have to reclaim those stories for ourselves and start to work with them because they're going to open up a whole new level of consciousness for us. And that will help assist the earth.
Yeah. Yeah. And definitely following your truth, whatever that looks like for you,
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
know,
Yeah.
that's really the only way.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
you know something because you're repeating, or parroting something you read, or do you really know? You know,
Mm-hmm.
to really know, you got to go in. And that entryway of the heart, for me is also Glastonbury and the heart chakra of earth. And that's part of my dragon class really focuses on the heart, and everything I do is heart, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm with you too. Like yeah. And I think so many of us have been initiated really since I think from last year's Lionsgate. I
Hmm.
felt like when I was just kind of tuning into what was happening collectively, it was this huge heart awakening, and it was the ability for all of us to perceive the energies around us. And so we've been doing a lot of alchemy through the heart, like letting things in and letting them flow and transmutation, all of that coming in and out has been super powerful. And, the people that are just like, everything's coming at me at once, or you get the messages, I'm sure too, like, what is happening? And it's just that we're able to feel more, we're able to hold more, and we're able to transmute more. And so through the heart is absolutely where it goes. And from that space, then you can like heighten and activate all of your other gifts, all of your other chakras, like even more. The
Yeah.
heart, and then the womb, and then from there, that third eye wisdom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I agree that I think you and I both teach to where we bring earth energy up to heart. and then the divine energy down to
Mhm.
heart, and we
Yeah.
merge the two, and that right there is also part of the alchemy.
hmm And I
Merging.
love that you said that because for a couple years now, I keep getting the message like diamond heart, like diamond this, diamond grids. And there's a lot more that would be a whole nother topic for this one. But like the diamond grids are coming back online. But what that is the diamond heart. And so it is, so I'll just bring in like the Marys. Like we've heard Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene. These are really prevalent right now on the earth, right? I'm sure you've seen stuff on Facebook and other people talking about it. But Mary Magdalene is that earth energy, right? She's the earth. And then Mother Mary is more of the angelic. She's more of the higher. And so if you think of them as triangles, right, they start to come. And when the two triangles meet, they form this beautiful little diamond. And so it's the diamond heart that they create and how they led the teachings with Yeshua, right? They were his teachers.
Yes.
And that diamond heart is where we're all starting to tap into. And from that space is where we literally can start to connect again with the womb, and then we can connect to the diamond grids, which are, or the dove grids, some people will say, and those are original grids that were manipulated, you know, thousands and thousands of years ago. And so we're starting to heal those, and by us doing this work and teaching people, and you know, you connecting the way you do, and I connecting the way that I do, and the people watching connecting however they do, it all is coming online. Like I can see it coming online. And so it's really beautiful to be a part of this right now in the world. Even though there's a shit show still happening outside, there's still things happening. Like if we can have that higher perspective, know that we are literally bringing ancient grids back online that have not been accessed for thousands of years. Like that just makes me want to cry with excitement. Like I want to cry because it's just emotional, because you know that's a lot of the work that I'm doing too. So yeah.
Yeah, we're reigniting, we're repairing. We're also, you know, an overlay of that extra blueprint, of that new blueprint. Yeah.
Mhm.
And I love the idea of the whole sacred heart. And I do know that we got our high heart, low heart, and also our ethereal heart, which also forms that triangle. See?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, that Trinity,
Mhm.
where I think part of the Trinity is us. We
Absolutely. We
were
are.
always told it was outside of us and another being that we had to bow to, so to speak.
Mhm.
But yeah, we are our own gods and
Yeah.
goddesses, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. I love you so much. Is there
I
anything
love
else
you
you want to
too.
express or talk about
Um,
before we pop off?
gosh, there's so much I don't even know. um, I made notes. I literally made notes. I was like, there's so much that happened at Mount Shasta. How do I bring it into I think the biggest thing is like that we, again, we get to choose. We get to choose our destiny. You know, there's a difference between fate and destiny is the ability to choose and look at those doorways and say, which one do I want to walk through? And I think we're all at that place right now, especially with Lionsgate coming up. You know, this is a huge portal. How can we stand in our power even more? How can we reclaim our voice, our truth, our wisdom? How can we show up more boldly for ourselves? And that can even be like more rest, or that can be, you know, doing something, you know, setting healthier boundaries. It can be small things and it can be big things. And so as you go into this portal way this day, like fucking reclaim it, call it out, shout it into the wind, like whatever you need to do, take time and really put those positive intentions into the world, because it matters. We matter. Each one of
It
you matters.
does.
Yeah.
It does. And when we write down things or have pictures of things, it tells our subconscious the direction we're going.
Mhm.
You know, that's the beauty of that. And we can affirm as well that, you know, I like to make lists. I like to have pictures on my phone of those lists, you know, whatever that
Mhm.
constant reminder is, so that your subconscious will form a new reality, right?
Yeah.
Bring it
Yeah.
in. And like you said, this is that doorway. This is that opportunity.
Mhm.
Our Lions
And
Gate.
something that was really funny, I thought about you actually in my morning meditation. So I have a morning meditation that I do where I do mantras and you know, do my thing. I do my thing. And I was like, okay, what is it that I need to bring in? Because I was just kind of feeling like a void almost. It wasn't bad or wasn't good, but I was like, what is it that I need to know in this moment? And I kept looking over at my bookshelf, and I'm like, it took me a while. I'm like, why am I staring at this? I'm literally staring at the tapping book. I have the tapping solutions book. And so what I did is I started tapping in my mantras. And so I was using them and tapping each mantra in, and my body completely shifted. I was just like,
yeah.
Oh, I almost messaged you, but it was like 6:30 this morning. I'm like, I better not. It's like 4:30 for her. But I'm like, Maggie, you'd be so happy.
And
you know, like
wake up at that time, but not But yeah,
so,
it's a total game changer because you're telling your body this is my new reality. Absolutely.
Yeah. And you can use affirmations, you can use mantra, like whatever floats your boat, like
or even
use
just
those
I'm
tools.
okay. If you're having anxiety, I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay.
Yeah.
Being present. Yeah. Oh, that's so good. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was like, oh, Maggie would be so happy.
That's great. Yeah, tomorrow evening we're doing a Lionsgate event with my friend Shannon Winchester, who is a certified advanced tapper. So I'm really excited for what she's going to bring in as well. Because,
That's so cool.
like, let's go up another level, right? Let's do it.
Absolutely.
Yay. Well, please drop your links of any programs that you might have going on in our chat here.
Okay.
And thank you so much for being
here.
Yes,
thank you for having me. It was an honor.
Opening our eyes even more to our own beauty. Yeah. And our 5D reality that's coming in.
Yeah,
and we love all of you for being here. Those of you that watch, those that are on the replay. Please just drop us a comment. Let us know if you enjoyed it. Okay.
Yeah.
Love
Thank
you guys.
you so much. Thank you.
Day.
Yes. Bye.